is even a good idea. Sometimes it just seems like it's not. Seriously. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it's a good idea. So I don't know. Um, if you guys think it's a waste of time, please tell me. It's so easy to get discouraged with this, you know? Because I've been down for so long and then not even working that it's just so easy to to get discouraged, you know, with YouTube. I mean, you just end up saying, forget it all, give up again, crawl back in the bed, go back, you know? And I've tried a bunch of little things. Just my efforts are huge for me and to me, but you know, to the average person, it's like, oh, she's not doing anything. It's not significant. It's not. You remember that show? I've never seen it, but I saw the clip. It's like not the Sopranos. It's something like that. And this woman wanted to start a little cookbook because her husband always said that she was a good cook. And I didn't see the whole movie, but she was sitting. I think it's like a Netflix thing or something, and we don't have Netflix. But she was saying she finally got the courage up to, so she wrote all her recipes down, and she got all excited. And her business husband was home and standing over the kitchen, looking at her like, "Where's dinner?" And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we'll have to order out or eat leftovers tonight, honey. After all these years, I finally wrote down all the recipes to start my cookbook. I've got so much support in my friends, my other ladies, whatever, you know, housewives helped her. And she finally did it. She finally got her recipe. She said, I'm going to do it. Thank you for inspiring me. And he's like, where's dinner? She's like, what? He's like, I was just telling, I have had a hard day at the office and I this and I that. And you could see her hope just going down, down, down. Meanwhile, there was a repairman in the house. Now, she was some upper class, wealthy woman. You know, you can tell they were like the suburbs, whatever, suburban, whatever. Her husband was some corporate guy, I guess. And in the house was I think it was a plumber. That's what it was. So if you guys know this TV show, whatever, let me know because it was so encouraging. And her husband was so preoccupied with his career and his thing, he couldn't see his wife fighting for her life. And so he kind of mocked her a little bit and, you know, whatever. And she just sank. And the whole time there was another man in the background. And she just walked over and just said, forget it, I give up again. She threw away all of her recipes. She threw them in the trash, the whole stack of them. And about a year later, they were divorced. They got divorced about a year later because the guy was such an egomaniac. And he did some other things. He had a lust problem. So he was very self-centered. And they ended up divorcing. And one day, the plumber came back and gave her all of her recipes. He had saved them. She threw them in the trash. He went later, picked them up, and knew there would be a day that she would find her voice and her courage and her confidence again. And she was so moved. She was shocked that somebody had paid attention to her, had saw her when she felt so insignificant, had been battling depression. She was suicidal. She felt like she had no hope. Every day was a mental struggle. And it was the plumber. The plumber. So if you guys can remember that episode or whatever show that was, I think it was a Netflix thing. I don't know. We don't have Netflix. But let me know if you know what it is. But she had all that money, everything she ever thought she wanted in life. She didn't have an ounce of respect. She wasn't worth anything. And her little dreams, they just seemed so insignificant, you know, to her husband, Mr. Successful. But can I tell you something? I sometimes feel like that too. I sometimes feel like, what's it all for? What good is it all? I mean, you know, is it going to pan out to anything? Is it going to work? I mean, it's so insignificant. You guys, I started getting all this stuff to make jewelry. And I haven't made one necklace, one pair of earrings, one bracelet. Not one. I got them months ago. Then I had to have a hysterectomy. And today I got my first release, from my doctor after 7 weeks. But I just kept telling myself, who cares? Nobody's going to buy my jewelry. Nobody's going to buy a little handmade necklace. I have the whole thing. It's up here. It's all here. And I laid in bed. I think this was last night, maybe yesterday. I don't remember exactly. But yesterday. And when I laid down, I felt a tear coming out of my eye. I was crying. My heart was crying because I was letting the enemy beat me up. Like I was allowing his words to beat me up. And I said, wait a minute. You made jewelry before, you guys. In 2013, maybe, I wanted a little side hustle and I wanted to make jewelry. I did not have a dime. Guys, my monthly income was $1,200 a month. I made $1,200 a month. My rent was $800. Thank God I was in a place where it was all bills paid. But my rent was $800 and I was still making payments on my deposit. And that was $50 a month. So I had nothing. And I was raising my grandchildren, 3. So when I tell you it was tight, it was tight. And I wanted to do something. I wanted to make jewelry. I thought, man, if I can just figure out a way, Lord, to make jewelry, maybe I can make some money. Maybe I can do something. Well, guess what happened? One of the kids had, I can't even see the screen. One of my grandkids was invited to a pool party. Oh boy, we went to the pool party in the summer. This is Dallas, Texas. It was hot. And I was sitting next to a lady. And I looked at her earrings and I said, those earrings are so pretty. They were just simple little something. I don't even remember what they were. I don't even remember. And she took them out of her ear. She said, oh, you can just have them. I said, whoa, no. I said, I don't want to take your earrings. I'm just giving you a compliment. I was just saying your earrings are cute. You don't have to give them to me. And she said, oh, no, you can have them. I'll make another pair. I said, make? She said, yeah, I make jewelry. I had been praying all year. Lord, help me. Teach me how to make jewelry. Help me. Show me, where do you begin? How does it start? What do you do first? And so this lady ended up giving me her inventory. She said, well, I'm into candles now. She gave me all of her beads, everything she had. Then she came to my house twice, maybe 3 times, but twice for sure. She drove to my apartment and showed me how to make jewelry. I couldn't believe she did that. And then she told me, now, you're not going to make any money off this. Just want you to know now, it's more of a hobby. The most you'll ever make is maybe $10. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to be doing this and only making $10. There's no way. Well, I was selling jewelry, guys. I had some necklaces that were $40 and people were buying it. They were buying it. I made $300 that month. And guess what I did? I ran out of material. I ran out of beads. I ran out of stuff. And so guess what happened? I never did anything else. And it dawned on me, that was what, 2013? It dawned on me, you idiot. You should have invested back into your business and it would grow. I didn't think that way. I just thought, wow, I made $300. That's so awesome. That was fun. Well, guess what? You see all this gray hair? I'm almost 60 years old now. Now I'm like, Lord, do not let me mess it up now. 2013 and it's 2024 now. I don't want to mess that up. So I started last year accumulating beads and jewelry and things like that to make it again, and I'm going to. And I'm just going to pray that God blesses me and that I'm consistent, consistent. So, yeah. But you talk about life lessons, like seriously. And it's so hard the second time around. It's so hard because everybody and their mom is doing it. Everybody's doing it. So that was hard for me, But anyway, I just wanted to share that. I don't know if that's motivation, if it's depressing. I don't know. I just know that I'm in a season, guys, right now. I'm fighting for my life. I feel like I'm pushing against all these forces, of hell. And I'm pushing against it, pushing for something to break. It's almost like it's like the blessings are there. My life is there and there's a dam. And I am poking and poking and poking until that thing breaks. And so I just feel very, very close. I feel very close. Now, I don't know if that's a YouTube thing because YouTube's like, I made, $10,000 this month, this week. And I'm just like, okay, yay. I need $10. So I'm trying to start somewhere. When I say beginner, I've been on YouTube, 6 weeks? Maybe 7. I know 2 months, maybe 2 months. Like we just started this thing. I'm still trying to figure out what it's going to be about. I have no idea. I don't know what they keep saying, oh, if you're over 50 or 40, get on YouTube. And I'm like, who wants to hear us? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. So I can just tell you about miracles, things I've seen, blinded eyes being open, things like that. But I don't know what to say to people. But so my husband wanted to talk about God. And he's really good at that. He loves to study and read, and he wants to encourage people. And so I just know that I have been surviving as a single mom, then raised 3 grandchildren, and I've been surviving by the grace of God, by the mercy and the grace of God. I've been surviving. And at times I was even blessed, like literally there were seasons when things would come into my life and there's no way it wasn't anybody but God. That's been my life a lot. My daughter one time said, I want to become a pilot. I thought, you do? And she says, yeah. And I thought, that's so cute. Oh, how cute. That's so cute. We went to a prayer meeting about 45 minutes from where we lived. And a lady walked over to us and said, now she wants to be a pilot. Like, whoa. And she said, but you can't until you're 16 years old before you can start having lessons. Well, she doesn't want to be a pilot now, but she's 18 now. She's not interested. She was a little thing then, a little thing, maybe 9, maybe 10. I don't know. And so she said, and the lady told her, she said, but you can't do it until you're like 16. And do you know, we went home in our little low-income apartment complex, me and those 3 grandbabies, and the next door neighbor and I were talking outside, and I said, yeah, I said, so funny. I said, my little baby, the littlest one, she said, oh, she said, oh, Mom, I want to be a pilot. That would be so much fun. I want to be a pilot. And hi, Des. And do you know my neighbor said, oh, my son takes lessons. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, it's like a simulator kind of class and da-da-da. We'll pay for your daughter to take lessons. I'm like, but in the car on the way home from the prayer meeting, in the car on the way home, she was in the back seat, and I said, wasn't that cool that lady in the prayer meeting walked up to you and she knew that you wanted to be a pilot and that was in your heart? How did she know that? She goes, Mom, God told her. I said, God told her a secret about you, that you wanted to become a pilot. I think she was like 9 years old then. And she said, you can, when you turn 16, you're old enough then to start taking lessons as a pilot. And my grandbaby, who I adopted, so she's my daughter, she said, why do I have to wait until I'm 16 to take lessons? I don't want to wait till I'm 16. You guys, I'm telling you now, when that girl said that, in the back seat, a little kid, I felt it in the front seat. I said, oh, you just put a challenge on heaven. Your faith just rose up and you just put a challenge on heaven. Guys, we went home to our little low-income apartment, and I was talking to the next door neighbor about how cool it was that my daughter, our little baby, wanted to be a pilot, and a lady at the prayer meeting picked up on her heart and said, hey, you over there, God says you want to be a pilot. That's pretty cool. And that'll be a lot of fun. You can't do it till you're 16. You can start taking lessons then, but how cool is that? And then as it turns out, the lady I was talking to back in my apartment complex, her son was taking pilot lessons, or whatever you call them, at some kind of flight simulator school for kids. And she says, oh, I'll just pay for her lessons. My kid got her prayer answered the same day. She had a desire in her heart. We went to a prayer meeting almost an hour away, and a lady who hears from God walked over to her, stranger, and said, God is telling me you want to be a pilot. But the lady said, you can't do it until you're 16, which actually that's technically true. You can't take actual true lessons until you're 16 or 17 or something. But God saw her. And when we got in the car, her faith was so stirred. She said, I don't want to wait. So here she, and I've got photos. I should put them up. I'll put them up. I'll add them to the video of our little bitty thing. She's a tiny little thing with the little, what do they call it? The steering wheel? I don't know what it's called. So here she is taking these little flight simulator classes, and, you know, she crashed a lot. But here she was. We were driving now to these lessons every week for her to get in a flight simulator and take these lessons and learn altitude and all this stuff. And I just thought, there's nobody like God. There's nobody like God. It was wild. So anyway, I just thought I would share that. That is the coolest testimony ever. And we've had so many experiences like that in our life. And so I just want you to be encouraged. It is a fight. The last 2 days have been a battle here. So I know if I'm going through all kinds of challenging thoughts of doubt and fear and unbelief, I can't imagine what the ordinary person's going through in their lives right now. So just be encouraged. All is well. We're going to make it, guys. We're going to make it. You know, we're going to make it. Anyways, love you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.